Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And welcome back, everybody. So, I mean, I really hate giving this person any airtime. It's kind of like my Don Lemon rule. I'm starting to embrace more and more. Like, why even bother? This is not news anymore. When Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel criticize Trump, that's not news. It's what they do on a nightly basis. Therefore, it is predictable. Therefore, it is simply not interesting. And by the way, with Kimmel, this is funny. I mean, this guy, he pre-tapes his show because obviously it's hard to get people into a studio for a late night show when, you know, you do it more like late afternoon, early evening. That's a lot easier to do. Plus, you know, you don't want to be working at 11:30 at night doing a live show and have your whole staff. I think Kimmel's staff is well above 100. So what Colbert do, and Letterman did this too as well. I'm not sure what Carson did, but these things are usually taped more late in the afternoon, early evening, those shows. So even though it's late night, it really is late afternoon as far as when these things are actually recorded. But Kimmel actually went on the air last night and went off on Trump's State of the Union. That was at 9 o'clock Eastern time, despite the fact that he was leveling this criticism 3 hours before Trump gave the speech. So he was criticizing something that he hadn't even heard or seen, which is pretty indicative of what we heard all day today on The View or on MS Now and on CNN, where Trump was going to be criticized no matter what he said or did last night. He literally could have had Jesus Christ there as his primary guest, and Democrats wouldn't have stood up and applauded when Trump recognized him in some way, shape, or form. And that's how bad it was. And of course, many in media, not all. Certainly, we've played some clips tonight from a Major Garrett from CBS News, for example, David Axelrod over at CNN, saying that Trump actually did a good job. And if you look at polls, 67% of those who watched the State of the Union approved of the president's performance. I saw one poll that was very interesting that showed that this is a CNN poll, instant poll, 54% of those who were polled said that Trump's policies will make the country go in a better direction. By the end of the speech, those same people, that had risen 10 points to 64% said that Trump's policies would move the country in the right direction. So it was a very impactful speech. But nevertheless, we have people that obviously they just exist to criticize because their audiences are almost entirely left wing. Therefore, you have hosts, or in the Kimmel's case, comedians, I'm saying that in scare quotes, who are just going to give the audience what they want to hear instead of what they should hear. Now, all of that said, Robert De Niro, okay, who you could go through the litany of movies that this guy has done, and he has such great range. I mean, everybody always thinks Goodfellas, and they always think Godfather too. And that's a pretty good 1-2 punch right there, right? But then also you go through Midnight Run, and that is a great comedy. And you go through Meet the Fockers, which is profoundly awesome. Meet the Parents, not so much. No, wait, that's right. It was Meet the Parents that was the first one. That was the good one. Meet the Fockers, Barbara Streisand, not so much. Went to the well there too many times. But either way, De Niro is the type of actor, whether we're talking about Casino, that over the years, he does a movie, he owns the screen. And I'm never not going to watch Goodfellas because De Niro has become this raging lunatic. But now when he does interviews, it's just so sad to watch because he runs to places like NBC, MS Now, whatever it's called, and goes to somebody like a Nicole Wallace. And he only has one tune to sing. And that is how horrible Trump is. And he did it again with, obviously, Nicole Wallace during this one podcast where he actually teared up and said that we need to bring the country together. Trump isn't doing that. We need to be unified. Okay. The same Robert De Niro who once said this at the Tonys, but let's play the full cut 16 so you get the full context. Cut number 16, go.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
This guy should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when you got up there and cursed. A lot of of you. Okay, well, you know, this is cable,
Sorry.
so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
Yeah, so that's basically what he does. He goes on interviews, he drops F-bombs, and that's it. And then has the audacity to say how he's really just about unity and we all have to come together, and then acts like that. I'd say that is hypocritical. I think that's the only word that I'm going for here.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.